It is, welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, July 1st at 6 p.m. and I'd like to call the regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. Short in vacation again. As Father, we ask for your wisdom, guidance, and discernment in the decisions we make that affect our village and its residents. We also ask you to watch over our police, firefighters, and all who serve. Roll call.
Trustee Keller.
I'm here.
Trustee McGuiran.
Here.
Trustee Nelson.
I'm here.
Trustee Olson.
Here.
Trustee Pike.
Here.
Trustee Porter.
Here.
And President Wecken.
Here. Item 2, review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of June 3rd, 2025.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Who's the second?
John.
John, thank you. Any minutes or any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of the minutes is presented. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, item 3. Excuse me. Comments from the floor, limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Opportunity for the Village of North Hudson residents, property owners, and business owners to make the board aware of new topics, issues, and opportunities not on today's agenda for consideration for future meetings. We're all good? Okay, hearing none, we move on to item 4. New business from the board or staff. The president's comments, there's not, it's a nice warm start to July, and I'd like to remind everybody that this weekend down in Hudson, our neighbors to the south that we like to get along with, that they have booster days going on down there from Thursday through Sunday. The parade is on Saturday. The fireworks are on Sunday, so I hope everybody will go down and support. They've got a lot of, good food and good entertainment down there. So I hope people will stop down for that. And I'd just like to wish everyone a safe, happy Independence Day. Gina?
So a couple of items. The first one is that we received a second offer to purchase parcels of land in which the village has a part ownership of. It's not listed for sale, but we have an offer that was discussed in the last meeting, and a second offer has come in. The board, you should have had that in your inbox. The county and city also did receive the same offer. It is noted that there is ownership that we now know of the town of 10%, and so that has been passed along as well, that there are 4 owners on a few of the parcels. One of the parcels looks like it's split into 2 along the river. The county did meet in their development meeting and talked about the park, which is, again, related but separate issue from the purchase of these properties. And they did agree that they will be meeting on their July 15th administrative meeting to talk about the purchase order, or the purchase offer. The reason why I think that's imperative to us is that they are the largest percentage owner of the properties that are of interest. And so they have 50% of the one that is split 4 ways, and then they are full owner of another part of the parcel. So it's very convoluted if you've looked at those maps as to who owns what and to what percentage, but they will be considering their offer from their perspective in their July 15th administrative, and I think that'll be helpful in direction for us. And so the goal would be to have that review of the second offer to purchase in our August meeting here at the board. A quick update on the consolidation for the water and sewer. So on June 12th, the PSC Commission did approve to what they call a notice of investigation to be signed by their secretary of the commission, which means they have accepted our application for consolidation with the city, and they are now investigating the request for the consolidation. What we had been told previously is the average time from after the application is accepted is about 90 days. And so they said about 30 days to get the application accepted once submitted, and that was actually pretty accurate. So we are, again, that was June 12th, so we're in the middle of kind of waiting on that. There are a couple of things we're tidying up to make sure our paperwork is all in a line so that if and when we do get approval, we can begin to finalize the negotiations between the two municipalities. A couple of other water-related items. As any of you living on the north side of town has probably been watching or hearing, maybe, the refurbishing of the water tower there up by Deer Path. There was a discussion in the PUC meeting last week about whether or not there would be any wording added to that water tower as a result of the refurbishing. I did get confirmation back yesterday that they have decided as a PUC there will be no wording. So I think at the initial meeting there was proposal of the word Hudson being put on the water tower, significant, I think, pushback on having it just be Hudson. So there was discussion about, do we add North Hudson since it's located in the municipality? I think everyone agreed the cost of doing that was not worth it. It doesn't have a name on there today. So the PUC has agreed to leave it as is, which is no name. Then the last item, a few of you probably received an irrigation or water restriction notice also from the city. The reason for that is that water tower. So just to clarify, it's not an issue with availability of water, it's an issue with water pressure. And what happens is when the holding tank that they're using while they're doing the refurbishing does not have the same pressure force that the tower does. And so it's causing the booster station alarms to go off like a lot. So we've gone in and we've tried to adjust those alarms so that it didn't go off every time it dropped. Even with those changes, we were still getting 40 to 50 alerts a week, and it's creating extra work. And so the only way to really remove that or have that not happen is to put in these temporary restrictions. We're talking again maybe for a couple of weeks while the water tower is finished, and then we'll be able to go back to our normal policy. But that's why that was in place, is for the water pressure and to help with those alarms. So that's what I have.
That's what you get. All right. Thank you very much. Very helpful. Okay. Item 5, review applications for conveyance of land filed by Brandon King. Approval requested.
Move to approve the application for conveyance of land between the adjoining properties of Daniel Guillory Buckle and Thomas Kearney, and Daniel Guillory Buckle and Theodore Head.
Second.
Kurt, you second that?
I did.
Okay.
Never been called
I know, it's weird. Ted.
It's legal documents, I'm sure. Okay, any discussion on this?
This is very similar to what we, again, did ironically last meeting. It's the first one I've done since I've been here, but it's the last meeting was, but it's the second one in 2 months. So again, they're just looking to convey adjoining parcels, so move some property from one parcel to another, and they're doing it with 2 different neighbors. Much like the last one that came through last month, this does not require a plan commission approval. Prior to going to the board, the conveyances between adjoining parcels and everyone in the adjoining parcels is in agreement and in support. It was reviewed by the building/zoning administrator as well as our village engineer, and both have recommended moving forward with the conveyance. From my understanding is the reason why they're looking to do this is the property on 1286 is for sale, and there's just some very weird lot lines, and they're looking to get those lot lines cleaned up before the sale goes through.
Gina, question? Mm-hmm. So the lot 3 shows a septic tank?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an active septic tank?
It is, and that is lot 3 is what will remain with the property and the property owner, and is what is included in the sale. We've had, I'll say, a lot of discussions with both the agent and the property owners about the impacts of that septic being in place to the sale of that property, and they are aware that they are not able to repair or replace that septic, that if they do choose to separate that lot into other parcels, that they would need to use sewer, city sewer and water, and city sewer and water is available to that lot.
So unrelated to this request, but it is a concern because previously we were told that only places that weren't on the city system were Station Circle.
There's
Not
a
true?
handful more.
Not true.
It's not true.
So do we know how many there are?
I think we've got about 8, not including Station Circle, that are still on.
Can we talk about that at another meeting?
Yeah.
Just the potential impacts to our environment?
Sure can.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so, we will, put that on, discuss, septic down the line, but, as far as this conveyance request, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 6, motion to approve the application for variance for 728 Riverside Drive North. Approval requested.
Move to approve.
Thanks, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Kirk. Discussion.
I don't have anything on it other than minutes from the plan commission where they said they wanted us to approve it.
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
didn't see a motion statement either.
Yep, no, there wasn't a motion statement, so the application went to plan, like you said, and plan did, as part of their minutes, did recommend an approval of the variance that was requested. I did not create a separate motion statement because it's at the bottom of the notes.
What's the variance for?
Setback.
Setback.
Yeah.
Setback.
Setback variance?
And I thought I had it in here.
Is this a new house going in or?
It was a raised house, and then there, yeah, and I don't know why I didn't bring
what?
those. It was raised, it was a house that was taken down, and they're rebuilding. And the previous house did not have proper setbacks, and they're looking to rebuild it.
Okay.
Feels like Randy built it.
Yeah, I know the house. I didn't realize, I
Randy
didn't
probably just
realize
put
it
it
had
there.
been raised at one time, so.
Yep.
So do we have a report from the engineer or whoever does this? Do we have anything to go on about what the actual specifics are?
It should all be in the packet. Mine must be sitting on my desk still, because I had it.
We don't have any.
We don't have anything?
It should be in
I have.
the notes
All I got is number 6.
and the application.
Nope, it's not here either. We have the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have the minutes.
That's it.
I apologize. I thought the packet was in the back of the minutes. My apologies. We do have it, and I can provide that, and we can
Is it a
regroup
rush
on
to-
it. I mean, I know they're wanting to build.
Well, we need to see what the variance look, where they're asking for the variance. I would think, I would want to see what kind of variance and where they're asking for the variance. And
Yeah.
Is it going up the hill? Is it going to create hill,
Yeah.
water problems?
No,
Is it front yard?
it is towards the lake. Setback off the lake, and it's the existing footprint is my understanding.
so it says the proposed home will encroach on 30 feet, on the 30 feet required setback by 15 feet. So in other words, it will be 15 feet from the lake.
Yeah, is that not it? Is that the other one?
Paul, here's a random question. Are you allowed to move this to the end? And then we take a second for her to print out what we need to read? So we can,
They're right on the mallet.
yeah.
They are, yep.
I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, so is there a way we just go to the next thing, move it, give Gina a second to print out what we want to read it, then deliberate? So there's a chance that it doesn't get delayed, but we get to see what we're thinking of?
It's Brenda's saying ours is property.
I hear you, but still.
Well, no, I mean, that's just for, for reference to people that have been around here as long as,
Yeah, once I saw it up there, I knew who it was.
Yeah,
And I can run while you do 7, and then we can come back to
Well,
6.
all right.
Can we just point out here that there is essentially no reason to approve this, that there isn't a hardship, they just want to use it? And that is moving something or having something by the lake, which there is a reason that there's a 30-foot setback to lake property. There's a reason. It's an ecological reason, it's a environmental reason, it's a enjoyment reason, like it's important. Maybe our attorney could give us some information about why there's a 30-foot setback?
Well, I think the setbacks are there, like you pointed out, mostly for environmental reasons to protect the lake.
So we would be approving something that would potentially be harming the lake?
We
With
would.
no reason?
It went through the planning commission to come here, so I think that we should take a look at it, the printout documents, so we can see if we want to
Did this
approve
go
it.
through plan commission or?
So we
Went through-
there.
No, it went through zoning. This is zoning.
Should have gone to
It
a
got-
board
went
of
through both.
appeals.
Yep, they went through both.
Well, we only have zoning minutes. So you're saying it went through plan and and appeals?
She has to print the documents for us so we can review
So I
them
think we need to
further.
look at how procedurally this got here. Because typically a variance would go to the Board of Appeals, and they would make the decision there, and it would never come to the board.
Does it ever go from appeals and zoning over to plan?
No.
Okay. Who sends it, how does it end up on zoning? Just.
It goes
that's the
directly,
right-
that's their job.
That's the right place to take
Yeah,
that kind of.
that, they should have the original jurisdiction, for lack of a better term.
So why did zoning send it up to us?
I don't know.
Well, I want to know why they approved it.
Can we move on to 7 while she prints that, and then we can go back to 6?
Well, but I know one thing, if you're anywhere familiar with any of the properties on the lake, whether it's Sally's Alley and even the neighbors that are south of her, there ain't any of them that are set back 30 feet.
Yeah.
No,
There's a reason that there is a 30-foot setback.
they just got on building
Well,
in Sally's Alley, not that long
no,
ago.
she's right, there's a
Yeah.
reason, but obviously the board or zoning has allowed them to continually get variances from us, so if nobody else is 30 feet back.
Well, they're not. I mean,
So, but I agree, should we bump on the 7 and let her print her stuff?
sure.
Yep.
Okay, review, recommend appointment of Candace Collins to fill position on the Plan Commission. Approval requested.
Move to approve.
Thanks, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
President Wecken, could you tell us a little bit about this nomination for this position?
I certainly can. Candace is, she lived in Seattle until they moved to the town of Troy in 2003 until 2016, where they moved up to on Riverside Drive, and and she's been involved in numerous things when she was down in the Hudson area, which included the Hudson Basketball Association. She was on the committee there. She was on the committee for the Hudson Lacrosse Association. She was the chair of the children's program at the Phipps Center, and she's also very much involved in the backpack program. With that kind of experience in committees, I have no problem recommending her to be on the Plan Commission. Is
Thank
that
you. Thank you.
okay? Anybody else? Hearing none. All in favor of approving Candace for the position on Plan, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And the next one we can probably knock out too before she gets back. Temporary class, Parent B / Parent Class B license, North Hudson Pepper Festival, Inc., August 15th to the 17th. Approval requested.
Move to approve.
Thanks, Brian.
A second. Barb?
Barb, thank you. Comments, questions, or?
This is what they do every year. Chief,
Oh. Yes.
they're just a little early this time.
No, well, I mean,
We're in July.
Hey,
I was about to say, it is.
Right in our August meeting, but I'm glad they're ahead.
Yeah.
That's the only one we've got. Nobody else yet.
This is a temporary,
Okay,
and you approved all the other liquor licenses last month.
so doesn't Village Inn usually get a temporary and,
No, this is not, this is not like what you're thinking of, I think, where they have a special event.
oh, okay.
This is a temporary liquor license, so it's not an extension or amendment to their current liquor license, just
Okay.
because they're a nonprofit, they have to get the temporary liquor license in order to serve alcohol at Pepperfest.
What about the extended area? Does that come up? I mean, if they decide to use their parking lot, do they then come back to us with asking for approval to serve liquor in a larger area on the outside than normal, or?
I think I'm a little confused, what do you mean by the parking lot?
Well, I know that at Seasons and at Village, at least, that they have extended their,
Right, so they have a
Yeah.
permanent liquor license, not
Yeah.
a temporary. So
okay,
Pepperfest gets a temporary liquor license just for the area in which their event takes place.
okay, gotcha. All right, thank you.
any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the North Hudson Pepper Festival Inc. temporary license, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Let's see, for number 9, I'll need Gina to do an explanation. Review motion to create new parcel for booster station. That's all, so she has information on that, so, I guess we can go to Plan Commission update.
I don't really have one to give.
Okay, I'm gonna have to work on Tim to start showing up, huh?
Yeah, because I don't think I was there. I certainly don't remember looking at a variance.
Okay, well, then,
So that's where it would have went, is the variance would have went to the Plan Commission if it was following the proper protocol?
And I would, I'm going to check into it, but it typically would go to the Board of Zoning Appeals,
And not the Plan Commission?
not the Plan Commission,
Thank
no.
you.
They don't, they wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Paul, you were right. It went to Board of Zoning Appeals. I just uploaded it. If you guys do a refresh, it should be in it was multiple pages, the packet was, so
Okay.
I figured I'd save on printing. You're absolutely right. So it did go to Tony. He did deny it from a permit perspective, and then they brought it to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, that's how it should go.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they would approve it.
And they did. And to answer your question, Kevin did also have feedback and said he had no issues with it from an engineering perspective, but that all should be in the packet, which should have just showed up in your,
Back at St. Orr's.
Yep.
yes.
Got it.
So, our attorney, back to our village attorney, Mr. Mahler, do we have authority to vote on this?
Typically, it wouldn't come to the board, and I'd have to look at the actual code language, but like I said, usually that's their role, is to handle variances, special exceptions, like a denial from the zoning administrator, so it goes to them and it does not go to the board. And they have, the zoning appeals folks have final decision on that,
So there's no purpose to us voting on it?
not if it's approved by the zoning, unless there was something in the code that's unusual. If you want to vote just to belts and suspenders it, I guess you can. And I'll check the code and we'll clarify procedures for in the future, but typically, the board approval is not required.
thank you. Okay, so nothing else there. Okay, let's back to,
We said it right, it has not been approved, I don't see that. Through the zoning.
It did get approved through
It
the
did?
zoning, yep.
In October?
Just trying to get there.
okay.
I'm mildly confused. So zoning approved this?
The Board of Zoning
Zoning
Appeals approved it. And I
Okay.
apologize if we
No, you're fine.
misinterpreted the procedure that it, to Paul's point, that it comes here. If it doesn't have to come here and this was just an FYI, then that's extremely confusing on my part. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
You're all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already been approved then?
It has by them, and if Paul, if.
That's what I'm saying, okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yes,
My-
yep, they did
I'm-
review it, and they did approve it.
As the slowest person in the
Yeah.
room, give
No.
me a sec. Dusty, try to take it from me.
If
I'll
if
get
you
there.
want to be double sure and have a motion to,
I don't.
No.
Because I don't want to have to do it again.
No.
Because if they follow the proper rules, we don't need to do that, because I don't want the next one to come to us.
It's an
If they're
FYI.
following their rules. Done.
It's just an
Thank you.
FYI to us.
Just takes me a second, okay, gang? I'll get there. Chief gets it.
Okay, did you get everything back from number 6?
All right, move forward. Let's go.
I
Thank you.
think,
Stop apologizing.
no, I think Paul is right. It does not, if the Board of Zoning Appeals approves it, it is approved.
No.
So
Oh,
it
And
is an
then-
FYI, no
and
approval
and typically
required.
then, if someone doesn't like the decision of that board, it goes right to circuit court. It doesn't come here.
So we don't have anything to say about setbacks being violated in the village as a board. That's not our
Not your role.
prerogative.
Well, you can set setbacks, but you don't decide variances.
But we can set setbacks that just can get overturned by the zoning appeals,
If they want to do that. yeah.
which apparently they do. Apparently they do.
they
Uh,
did. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to vote on that, so
Thank you.
Yeah.
we'll move down to, item.
We're at 9 now.
At 9.
Yep, number
Thank you.
9.
Thanks for helping out. Review motion to add authorized users to account. Approval requested.
Then I move to authorize Stan Wecken, Village President, Nathan Troster, Treasurer, and Gina Alberti, Administrator/Clerk, to have full access to the Village of North Hudson's bank account at Midwest One Bank, account number 600833848. This authorization includes the ability to conduct official municipal financial transactions such as deposits, withdrawals, transfers, and account management.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, John. Gina?
Yeah, this is an administrative after, as of July, our existing municipal clerk of courts will no longer be available, and so today this account is just under her name, and so we need to, as we went to close out the account and shut everything down, we need to be added so that we can actually do that once July is over, so
Are the same authorized users on our other bank accounts?
it's, yep,
Okay.
all three.
So the intent is to actually close the account because we no longer have municipal court.
We
And
will still have fees that come to us as a part of some of the citations that are written for parking and for non-parking. It'll be a smaller fee, so this account would still exist,
so we'll use it for that purpose.
just for court.
So we wouldn't want to use a regular village account?
We can't because there are rules around not being able to collect interest on fees, and our other accounts have interest bearing.
Interest bearing, thank you.
Interesting.
I think I said that right, yeah.
Well said.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to add authorized users to account, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And let's see, number 10. Review motion to create new parcel for booster station, discussion and possible recommendations.
Stan, I move to postpone this discussion until a later meeting. I believe I found some documentation late this afternoon that may meet the need of verifying the booster station that would not require us to create a new parcel.
Okay, so We
Nice
will-
work.
Maybe, we'll see.
Yeah.
Haven't heard back yet.
Well, you dig on a lot of things. It is greatly appreciated.
Okay, we'll lay that at the table for a future meeting. Number 12, Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims and approval requested.
Stan, I move to approve the July of 2025 non-recurring claims of $91,359.22.
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second. Oh,
Dusty.
Dusty.
Gina, anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
comments or questions?
Everyone's
in a
stepping
hurry.
out.
The largest expense for the month was for the sidewalk repairs, both the polyjacking and the full replacement. I was made aware that maybe there was a sidewalk that was missed, so I'll be following up on that on the west side of 4th Street. But the $77,000, what was approved in the budget going into the year, to do a significant amount of sidewalk repairs, and in theory, that is complete, minus the one we'll look into. I'll note in the treasurer's report on number 3, there was a mislabeling for the $2,761 towards Park Development Fund. It was not for pickleball courts. It was for some miscellaneous expenses, including a liner that went under the wood chips in all of the parks, some paint, some stain, some grass seed, and some other items. So that is we will update that, but it had nothing to do with the pickleball courts.
Alrighty then. Any other questions? Hearing none. Mary?
Yes.
Dusty?
yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Yes. John?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item B, review a motion to purchase of Chromebooks for Board of Trustees, discussion, possible recommendations.
And I move to purchase Chromebooks for the Board of Trustees, leveraging 2,200 from the unassigned account.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I second Barb.
Thanks, Barb. Is there comments, questions, or discussion?
So Gina, are we going to replace all of them, or just as they, need, like some people's are really not working at all and some people's are working okay?
At this point, the recommendation is to replace all of them.
Okay.
You certainly could do. One of the things that was brought up during the budgeting or the finance meeting right before this was that I thought is, could we possibly, the ones that are still working well, could we be used for like our planning meeting and our BZA meeting and some of the other meetings? We'll have to look into, would we be able to re-leverage them? But yeah, the current recommendation of the 2,200 is replace them all and start over.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, even Park Board.
That way we're all learning up here together.
Well, and that's fair for her.
Yeah.
Like when we all have our questions, we come to one person, and if we have 2 different questions, it's incredibly honest to say, if you have to solve one-on-one, you don't need double the amount, so.
And we saw last meeting how critical these tablets working is to being able to run a meeting. And
And these are how
just,
old, do you think?
5 was what I had seen from.
I think we got our first one's Kirky back in 2015 when we first got on the board. And then we got another set 5 years later.
Yeah, okay.
We're on year 10 right now, right?
11.
Is it 11?
Yeah, I think you're off on your 15. But who's counting?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, that's a motion to purchase. Brian?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you. And next would be Public Works Committee recommendations.
See, we did meet and finalize the capital improvement plan. There is a question about a date on what we were gonna send forward to you guys on the PACER rating date. We're trying to get Matt to clarify that, and our next meeting we'll send through the full CIP for Public Works. That's it.
Thank you. Item 14, Public Safety. Dusty?
Yeah, Stan, we met. We had a very productive meeting. We had Jay in from the first responders. So we were talking a little bit about the first responder side of everything, which we're going to continue to dig into. We discussed about getting new signs put on the 100 block of 7th Street down at the corner area where we're having speeding issues, hearing from the residents. And then the third thing that I have a motion for is the crosswalk area of Crightley Lane and 35 South crossing the 35 Avenue, where we're getting a lot of complaints on that area. So I'm done with my chair update, which means that I can probably move to my motion. And my motion I have here is a motion to seek funding for flashing crosswalk signs at State Highway 35 and Crightley Lane North bike pedestrian crossing using unassigned funds of $14,400.
Thank you, Dusty. Is there a second?
John?
Second.
John, thank you. Let's see, discussion?
No, I said the same thing.
I have a question. I mean, I know that we did the approval upon, we've exhausted all revenues
Yes.
to try to get someone to pay for this.
Yep. We tried everything possible. I mean, obviously, we've had the discussion before of like why they put in it at Old Highway 35 area, but did not do for our area. So we tried to seek and help on that side of everything, which came back that this is where we're at. So obviously, we can't wait any much longer on this issue, and we feel this is the best route to go to take care of our pedestrians and villagers crossing 35. And it's going to be the ones where it's like in Hudson, where we're crossing at St. Croix, where people press a button, it flashes on both sides instead of just having one constant light, because we discussed that before, where if it was a constant flashing light, it'd just become a little blind to everything else that's going on. So this should help out and should help really, alleviate a lot of stress with everybody who's going from there. And if they don't see that, I mean, ugh.
I don't know what else we can do at that point, but this
Yep.
is.
But this is the best possible route we can go right now, and this is the only means that we can take care of it, unfortunately.
I don't know if there's a more North Hudson thing that you just said, that like we tried everywhere else and now we are going to do it. We don't have to, we're going to, because it's the right thing. You guys did everything right. You've done wonderful jobs. Just how much we appreciate that extra steps to see where else we can look at, and this is where we're at now. So wonderful job.
Thanks, Kirk.
Question.
Right.
This is an ongoing situation we've had before the bike trail got completed, right?
It's,
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we were hopeful from a perspective of when we contacted the state that this bike trail would maybe solve that problem, and it has not.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, suspend, so Mary?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Thank you. And Public Welfare Committee is next. Kirk?
We did meet, nothing to bring up. We will have some stuff come up the next couple of months, so.
Thank you very much. How about your Park Board?
So we had a meeting scheduled for June 24th, but it was a meeting change date, and we didn't end up with not having a quorum for the June 24th meeting, so we had to cancel the meeting. We have rescheduled or our next meeting is July 15th, and that meeting will be at 6:30. We'll be talking about moving the meeting routinely to 6 p.m. on the second Tuesday at the request of the River Channel for efficiency of their resources. We also will be taking the next step to prioritize the budget that we'll be bringing to the finance for 2026. And we'll have a presentation by the St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition.
Thank you, Mary. Any other comments or questions for Mary about that?
What time on Tuesdays?
So the next meeting will be at 6:30 at the usual time, and it's been requested to move it to 6 o'clock for future meetings.
Are we at 5? Okay.
Yes. Yep, that's why, because,
So you're gonna give me a reason to push us right along in that first meeting?
or if you say that's not going to work,
No. I'm usually pretty good at getting done. You were there.
Right.
You were there.
I was
Right.
gonna say, I don't ever remember you
Well,
doing,
Mayor,
taking an hour.
Our longest one was 45 because we had a bunch of people come in. And I can't ever remember hitting an hour.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, all the chairs, for the update, and, oh my goodness. It, looks like it's, we are adjourned at, 6:40.
Wow, still some item.
I know.